Yo, what's good, gang? It's your boy Dez Reacts, back with another reaction video, and this time we got Fly with the RAF's quick reaction alert cruise. This was requested by several people, and you know, I'm really interested in the RAF. We watched a couple of videos, such as like the Battle of Britain. That would be like right here somewhere, or the 13 hours that saved Britain, actually. Great documentary, check that out. And I found out the Royal Air Force is a force to be reckoned with, and I know, you know, the updated modern fighter jets, it's gonna be really cool to dive into. Believe me guys, I hear you guys. I know you guys want the greatest raid of all time, which I really want to react to that, but that's gonna take a little bit of time possibly because of, you know, copyright restrictions, right? I reached out several avenues. You know, I emailed the people that created it and stuff, so hopefully I get a response soon. If not, I do have a work around it. I know I do have a way to work around it, but I just want to see if I'll be able to get permission first before we explore these other avenues. But I really appreciate you guys' patience, and if you want to support your boy's channel, links right here, links in the bio. If you enjoy my content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the noties, and leave a comment on your thoughts on the RAF. And on top of that, you know, football season started in American football, so you know, that's why your boy's wearing his favorite team's jersey. We lost today, but you know, it's a really good day. Hung out with family and watched some football, and I hope you guys had a great weekend, and I hope you guys have a great weekend going forward. And last thing I did want to say is I really enjoy reacting for you guys, man, for real. And I promise you, if I could get these copyright infringements taken care of, you know, because I have to do it properly now, because you know, we got the channel partnered with YouTube now, so I have to go through like the proper channels, and I can't just upload stuff without permission sometimes. But you know, I might, like I said, the plan B's would be to like either make a Patreon for all the copyrighted videos we want. You know, we could do whatever in Patreon, or I'll make a members only videos where I could make the video so if they're a member they could watch the video, but it'd be like privately basically. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments, man. Again, appreciate you guys' patience. Without further ado, let's get it.
The Eurofighter Typhoon, one of the most advanced fighter jets in the world, armed and ready. The pilots set to scramble at a moment's notice to defend the country on the orders of the British government.
This is what order I've been given. This is my job. I am the weapons platform.
For the first time, cameras have been allowed to film every stage of this vital part of national security.
The worst case scenario is that we potentially have to shoot down an aircraft.
We have scrambled.
Bro, those jets look so freaking sick, bro. They almost look like they look just like, you know, the American fighter jets as well. These people, the fighter pilots, bro, they're so important for real. Like, you know, even in America, we definitely have quick response systems where I live in Portland, Oregon, so we have an Air Force base actually at our airport. And say there's someone in our airspace, in Canada's airspace or something like that like the Russian bomber, something crazy, you know, they will fly up from Portland and get to the Canadian border or to our edge of our waters in like 35 minutes. It's crazy. Like, these people are incredibly important to, you know, preservation of our country, your guys' country, the RAF for sure. Like, and I'm sure they're preventative for like terrorist attacks, like a 9/11 that would happen over there or something, you know what I mean? So like, these dudes protect you guys.
We have been inside the UK's top secret nuclear bunker and heard from the pilots themselves and the politicians who would give them the order to shoot down a plane.
If you were a hostile aircraft, that's quite threatening.
In a matter of seconds, the sky defenders of the United Kingdom are away on what has now become a routine job, shooting down Nazis.
Just as we were ready in 1940 for the Nazi aircraft coming across the southeast of England, then we're ready now.
This is the story of how the RAF protects Britain's skies every minute of every day.
You know, and they're talking about the Nazi, man. Like we learned about that in the 13 Hours That Saved Britain. Link right here. Crazy video, man. So I know for a fact the RAF, bro, they're some dogs. So this is gonna be a good one. And I'm especially excited to see it because this is modern aircraft, you know what I mean? So I want to see how you guys get it done nowadays.
RAF Coningsby in Lincolnshire is home to 2 frontline Typhoon squadrons. 30 combat jets are based here. They are flown by 40 pilots and supported by 400 ground crew.
That's crazy, bro. So, okay, to put this in perspective, bro, even if 2 fighter jets are up in the air, you guys have 38 more or 28 more just on the go at all times. You guys have 40 pilots for 30 planes and 400 crew people. Like, they're ready for anything, bro. That's crazy. You guys better feel safe over there.
They have many roles, but the one that never ends for them is a mission known as QRA. It stands for Quick Reaction Alert. The RAF's operation to protect the skies of Britain. On a discrete part of RAF Coningsby is a building nicknamed the Q Shed. It sits between 2 hangars. Inside each one is an aircraft loaded with fuel and missiles, ready to take off day or night. The pilots take it in turns on the QRA rotor. Each shift lasts 24 hours. They don't want us to broadcast their surnames for their own personal security.
Just tell me what it's like, the feelings when you're on shift and you're fairly tense because you don't know when that's going to crack up.
Yeah, indeed. You can't think about it too much because otherwise your mind wouldn't be in the right place when you got the shout. Obviously, you've always got an ear on anything that can happen.
On shift,
So the cool thing about
the Q Shed becomes home.
Yeah, so the cool thing about these dudes, man, these dudes have like a relaxing, just calm demeanor, right? They're always alert, and they could just flip a switch like that. Like they could get from like that guy just chilling, relaxing, taking a nap, sleeping, whatever you got to do. And as soon as they get the alert, alarm, whatever happens, bro, they get into business mode like that. Like, it's crazy, bro. These dudes are insane. I already know these dudes are insane.
There are bedrooms so they can sleep overnight, but on duty, their senses never fully switch off. Mark is coming to the end of his first shift, and it's been a quiet one.
This is your first QRA.
Yeah.
What sort of feeling of responsibility do you have?
Yeah, it's a huge feeling of responsibility. It's kind of nice to be able to kind of fulfil the training that we've carried out for such a long period of time. But yeah, there certainly is a weight of responsibility. Yeah.
Why is it important for you to be doing this job?
I think it's as John said before, I think it's a real privilege to be in this position to protect the country as a whole.
It's been a gentle introduction to QRA for Mark. Not every shift, though, is as quiet as this one. On average, 8,000 aircraft enter British airspace every single day. This animation shows the actual route of each plane during one typical 24-hour period last year. Whether they're landing, taking off, or just passing overhead, each aircraft must be closely monitored.
It is quite a challenge.
Bro, 8,000 aircraft a day, and each one of them is just monitored. That's wild. You know, they have to do this. Like, they do this for sure in America. I'm telling you guys right now, like, every single aircraft is accounted for. They know their flight path. They know their business, what they're doing. And this is incredibly important, you know, because like I mentioned before, you know, like, you don't want like a 9/11 type of attack to happen, like, you know, some terrorist thing crazy. You don't want, you know, if it's military personnel from a foreign country, you know, you just got to know these things and you got to be on top of it. And these dudes seem like they're on top of it.
But our training and the practicing and the simulation that we do in terms of our operations are fundamental to making sure that we achieve the tasks that we are assigned to do. We're identifying aircraft every day, and we're looking for every aircraft that comes into the UK to understand where it's going, what it's doing. But on occasions, on a daily basis, there are instances where we are unsure of what the aircraft is doing, or it might be in a different place to where we were expecting it or a different time.
The British military has 2 air control and reporting centres, CRCs, one based at RAF Bulmer in Northumberland and this one at RAF Scampton in Lincolnshire, just a few miles to the west of the Typhoon station at RAF Coningsby. For security reasons, the various parts of the QRA operation are kept in different locations in case of attack. Their job here is to identify suspicious activity.
And, you know, that makes a lot of sense. Like, that's smart. Like, it's a failsafe. So if, you know, one of these planes or whatever happens, there's an attack on one of these command centers, there's secret, like, strategic locations, you know, that these other operations are, so they could do everything they're doing there, but in another location if they need to. That's super smart.
They are looking for abnormal behavior.
Because you do not want, if one, that'd be a terrible setup. If someone just, you know, attack this place and there's no more communication, that would be ludicrous.
Unusual flight paths, loss of communication, unidentified aircraft. As we are filming, an alert goes off.
Okay, what we've got is we've had a call on the guard radio. Guard radio is where every aircraft within the UK listens to that radio with air traffic going out.
And let me know in the comments if you guys ever heard of stories of, you know, the RAF's quick reaction, like capturing a plane or, you know, turning them away or something. Let me know.
For an aircraft who's not speaking to anyone at the moment.
Every single aircraft in the UK.
Every aircraft will listen into the guard radio so that actually
every single one
they can be contacted. In this particular instance, an aircraft has got airborne out of Marham. We believe it to have a stuck receiver, which means he can't hear. But we have not had him check in, so they've gone on guard radio to try and contact him to establish two-way communications with him and therefore be able to identify him and confirm which aircraft it is.
It turns out to be a US Air Force plane with radio problems. Nothing to worry about. The Typhoon crews are stood down.
Bro, first of all, you know the United States Air Force plane was not having radio malfunctions. I guarantee you that, you know, someone in the government, the UK's government, knew that this plane was coming in this flight path. Like, there's no way we're just flying your guys' airspace unauthorized, you know what I mean? So they might have just done that because I'm telling you, somebody knew about that plane. Let me know in the comments if you think it was just like an honest, like, mistake, like the plane actually had radio malfunction. But I think more cases than not, the US military craft radios probably are not malfunctioning.
We have two main missions in respect of quick reaction and alert. One is against military aircraft and Russian aircraft, and the other one is very much a UK-centric 9/11 type scenario.
This is a Russian Bear aircraft. It's a long-range Tupolev bomber. Recently, Vladimir Putin has been using them to challenge NATO's response.
How do you assess that current geopolitical situation with the Russians?
The first question is, go and speak to Mr. Putin and see what his intentions are. But I think the important thing from my viewpoint, we have a responsibility as a NATO member, firstly to reassure those member states that are much closer to any potential Russian threat than ourselves, that we are here, that NATO is fit for purpose, and of course to deter, as part of NATO, any potential aggressors to the organisation and the countries within it.
Only last Thursday, 2 RAF Typhoons were scrambled from Lossiemouth in Scotland to intercept a Russian Blackjack strategic bomber that is capable of flying supersonic.
Jeez.
The Russian planes don't submit a flight plan or transmit their position. They never actually enter British airspace, but fly into the British area of interest to test the RAF's reactions.
They're doing their job and we're doing our job to determine what is happening and then feed that back to the fighter controllers and further up the chain.
See, that's pretty crazy. So, first of all, I guarantee you, like you said, you guys are both they're both doing their job. So, like, the Russian planes flying up there to see how far, they're testing the waters. Putin is probably sending them to test the waters to see how far they can get in, your guys' airspace. And obviously the RAF's quick alert team, pulled up there, wanted all the smoke. And they probably flew right next to that thing. It was just like, hey, look, bro. Probably communicated with them. They probably went their separate ways and called it good. But that's crazy, though, that they be testing the waters. I'm sure you guys probably do that, too, sometimes, They probably don't make it public, but I guarantee you guys, push, like, Russia airspaces and stuff to see their response times. Let me know in the comments if you think so.
In April 2015, a Russian Bear bomber flew up the English Channel straight through busy commercial flight paths.
Oh.
This is video of that incident, filmed from inside the Russian plane, the RAF Typhoons shadowing it alongside.
This kind of flying is extremely intimidatory. It's also dangerous. They may not enter our airspace, but they don't respond. They don't file flight plans. They don't respond to air traffic control. They don't even respond to our pilots when they're up in the air alongside them. It's unnecessary behaviour. It's intimidatory. It's designed to annoy us, but it's important we respond to it, and we do.
In a matter of seconds.
Wait, so the English Channel isn't part of the British airspace or the UK's airspace? Let me know in the comment. I'm obviously I don't know this, but that seems pretty crazy though that the Russian plane was just flying through the English Channel towards London or whatever they said, and they just did it just to see if they could get away with it. Honestly, that's pretty crazy. But it looks like the RAF, highly trained, and they were probably there within minutes to intercept it and make sure everything was all good.
The sky defenders of the United Kingdom are away on what has now become a routine job. Shooting down Nazis.
75 years ago, the men and women of the RAF were performing a very similar role, but against a very different enemy.
Goering's Luftwaffe took its first licking.
In 1940, the German Luftwaffe was bombing airfields across the southeast of England. The only thing that stood in their way were the Hurricanes and Spitfires of Fighter Command.
Tough.
It was the Battle of Britain.
Well, this is rather a large part of British history. If it wasn't for the replica Hurricane and a Spitfire as well, you wouldn't know it's here. You could almost walk straight.
Go check out the my reaction to the 13 Hours That Saved Britain parts 1 and 2 are in my uploaded history, so go check it out.
Past it, because 76 stairs below here is a World War II underground operations room, which was the command centre for the Battle of Britain.
During those tense days, this bunker at RAF Uxbridge was manned round the clock as the Nazis pummeled the airfields in the southeast. Key decisions that would decide the fate of Europe were taken here, 60 feet underground.
It's extraordinary to think that just 70 years ago, this was very much the height of technology.
That's crazy.
And trying to imagine what it must have been like during those days. There would have been 20 people crowded around this table, all of them women, working in pairs, plotting the route of German aircraft as they came across the English Channel. One RAF officer said it was like a game of tennis. The Germans were always serving, the RAF were the ones returning. And on that day, that crucial day, as if to add to the pressure, Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister, was up here watching down, and he saw on the board behind all of the lights turn red, meaning that every single Spitfire and Hurricane squadron was up in the air engaging the Germans. And he turned to the man in charge and said, "How much have we got in reserve?" The answer came back, none.
Okay, now put that into perspective, bro. So these ladies and commanders, everyone inside there, bro, they're already in an intense situation, bro. They do not want to mess up. They're under intense pressure. And then you look over and see the Prime Minister, Winston Churchill, walking down or you look over and he's just staring at the table. Bro, you better not mess up. You know, just imagine the pressure. You don't want to mess up, but then you start thinking about it. But I'm sure everyone is good at their jobs, you know, but that had to be pretty intense, man. And let me know in the comments if you guys ever been to that bunker. It looks like it's open to the public, man. It looks pretty sick.
Fighter Command would...
And just think about it. That'd be like you doing a job and then your boss walks up to you and just starts staring down at you while you're doing your job, just staring at you. You'd feel the pressure.
Was vastly outnumbered. The Luftwaffe came at them with over 3,000 aircraft. The Allies only had 600 in the beginning.
Fighter Command lost 103 pilots killed, 128 seriously injured. The lifeblood of Fighter Command, its fighter pilots, was ebbing away. So we were in a pretty serious state. We had pilots. We didn't have combat-trained pilots, and pilots were arriving at frontline squadrons, if they were lucky, with 20 hours experience on a Hurricane or a Spitfire, some with 15, some with 10, some with none at all.
Bro, I think that's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. You're telling me there's people with less than 15 hours flight experience in these fighter jets or fighter planes at the time, not necessarily trained that well on them, just going up to defend Britain. Bro, they were built. You guys were built different back in the day. You know, all the pilots that fought in the war were just built different. If anybody from World War II era and they were alive fighting or involved in the war whatsoever, built different, bro. Crazy.
The Hurricane might have shot down more planes in the battle, but the Spitfire has become a British icon.
Well, this is the last remaining airworthy Spitfire to have fought in the Battle of Britain, and the RAF bought it for £25 off a scrap heap back in 1948. Would you believe it? It's not particularly comfortable, I have to say, and to imagine that these young men would go up in it 4 or 5 times a day to face the Germans over the English Channel is quite something.
Today, the home of the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight is RAF Coningsby. The planes that defended Britain's skies 75 years ago now live alongside their modern successors, the Typhoons. There are a few RAF pilots who get to fly both. One of those is Coningsby's station commander, Group Captain Jez Attridge.
These old aeroplanes, you can really feel them. You know, there's not much to them. It's you and the stick. Whereas the modern aeroplanes, it's all about processing the information rather than actually flying the aeroplane. So you're sitting there as a battle space manager rather than a pure pilot.
Makes sense.
Like the Spitfire and the Hurricane, the Typhoon was designed for a dogfight. It was built to shoot down the enemy.
He's just going straight up in the air, bro. That's gotta feel crazy, you know what I mean? Dang.
From their Lincolnshire base, they can be over central London in just 10 minutes. When the alarm goes, there is no time for a briefing. Coming up, the siren sounds.
You're right.
The siren goes off and we need to be out of those aircraft as soon as possible.
The training just kicks in and the adrenaline flows.
And we experience firsthand what it is like to be intercepted at 35,000 feet.
Let's
If you do not respond immediately to my orders and turn east, you will be shot down.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
During the later years of the Cold War, when the Russian nuclear threat was at its height, the British government built this bunker at RAF Air Command outside High Wycombe in Buckinghamshire. It is so top secret that this is the first time cameras have been allowed to film it. 3 sets of blast doors protect it from nuclear, biological, and chemical attack.
Damn.
There are 4 floors going deep below the ground. On the second, somewhere in the heart of the bunker, is the National Air Defence Operations Centre, the NADOC, the top of the military chain to protect Britain's skies.
That's crazy. And I guarantee you, either something like that or this one is where your guys' prime ministers, royal family, whoever would go if there was about to be a nuclear attack or something like that. And you better not believe that this is the only top secret, top command underground bunker there is there, because they would be fools to let a camera crew in there to their only one. You know what I mean? So this is pretty crazy. You got the RAF, man. You guys are wild.
So this is the MC for the NatRep. We still have no radio contact with...
The role of the NADOC is to act very much as the hub, the fusion point, if you want, for all the information that comes in to allow us to exercise air defence on behalf of the United Kingdom Air Defence Command.
We've got a lost comms on a call sign.
If a suspicious aircraft appears, there is a direct line from here to the Department of Transport and the Metropolitan Police Counter-Terror Unit. They can swap intelligence to build a clearer picture of the threat. In real emergencies, a red phone connects straight to Downing Street. When dialed, a voice answers with one simple word, London. It is then transferred to the Prime Minister or to a senior cabinet minister if he is away.
Imagine when the phone...
Okay, so I'm assuming that, I forget what street he called it, but that red phone connects to like your guys' version of the White House, which is, you know, obviously the USA's top government building where the president would be. I'm assuming that's what the red phone goes to. That's pretty crazy, bro. It's the type of stuff you see in movies.
Rings, even during an exercise, the heart beats a little faster.
Yes, you know, there are lives at stake, there are uncertainties, you're unsure as to whether how real the threat is, and there's advice available to you, but in the end, a minister has to take that decision.
The QRA operation is highly sensitive. It has never been filmed before, from start to finish, but the RAF gave us unprecedented access to do just that.
I can't wait.
This is how it works. We flew out of RAF Coningsby to play the part of a hijacked passenger plane.
So we've been heading east over the North Sea. We're about there at the moment. And in a minute we're going to turn around. We're going to start coming back down towards the UK, but this time as an unidentified aircraft. At which point the alarm bells will start ringing. The Typhoons base here in Coningsby will be scrambled, and they will come out, sit alongside us, and intercept us.
Okay, sick. So this is about to be like a live exercise. I'm pretty sure that plane they're in, you know, they took off, whatever, they're going to come back as an unidentified plane. And I mean, let me know if I'm wrong in the comments, but I feel like the fighter pilots don't know it's a training exercise. I feel like they're going to think this is the real deal. So this is about to be crazy.
At RAF Scampton, our aircraft is identified on the computer screens.
Track of interest. East Coast inbound.
They immediately contact the NADOC in the bunker at RAF Air Command.
NatRep, good morning, sir. This is the Master Controller. I have a track of interest in the system for you. Zulu 001. He's East Coast heading northwest right now at 35,000 feet.
Yeah, I can see it on your radar.
Roger, that's understood. I will bring quick reaction alert to readiness. Stand by.
The Master Controller at Scampton alerts the Typhoons.
Coningsby Operations and QRA. This is the Black Dog Master Controller. Acknowledge.
QRA.
Q on. 4 quick reaction alerts. Scramble, 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 acknowledge.
QRA.
Oh, here we go. Let's go.
The 2 pilots and their ground teams run to the hangars. They can flick a switch to begin powering up the jet, even as they climb into the cockpit.
Oh my gosh, bro. So this is so sick. So the ground crew, first of all, they're incredibly important, man. So they're doing the job that, you know, the pilot might not, I mean, I'm sure he knows how to do it, but he don't got time to do it. So they're making all the proper plane checks, detaching stuff, moving like the wheel blocks, all that, while the pilot's, you know, getting his vest on, putting on all of his gear, probably talking to towers, you know, like, all right, what we doing, where we at? And then they're probably within the air within minutes, bro. This is pretty awesome to see him in action.
The Typhoons are cleared to take off.
We have scrambled 2 QRA jets to intercept this lost comms aircraft. 1 jet has been cleared supersonic.
Climb flight level 410 and 400. Set speed initially decimal and 9. Your mission, interrogate.
Pretty sure it said that we got permission to interrogate. Okay.
As they break through the clouds,
What other information have we got on this
the
aircraft?
team on the ground are still trying to gather intelligence on the suspect aircraft.
He's still out of radio contact with air traffic control.
The Typhoons need to reach it fast and assess the situation for themselves. The quicker they get there, the more thinking time for the Prime Minister if he is called upon to make a decision. And it can happen.
That's crazy, dude.
We start with breaking news tonight as a Russian-built Latvian cargo plane's been intercepted by RAF Typhoons and escorted into Stansted Airport.
In October 2014, the Typhoons from RAF Coningsby flew supersonic to intercept a Latvian aircraft approaching London. It wasn't communicating, and so the RAF pilot gave this final warning.
1605 from the Lima 9 Tango 47. I'm instructed by Her Majesty's Government of the United Kingdom to warn you that if you do not respond immediately to my orders, you will be shot down.
The cargo plane was...
Bro, I just got chills, bro. Oh my gosh, bro. Hey, if you don't speak English, you're going to learn how to speak English real quick when those fighter jets are over there trying to communicate with you and you're not responding. That's crazy.
Safely escorted into Stansted. It is one of the UK's designated airports for terrorist incidents.
Okay, yeah, then they escorted him down to the airport. That's crazy, bro. You might not speak English, but universal language for sure is weapons and fighter jets. Like, you know what that means if they're there.
The people in the cockpit, the people communicating with the cockpit are fully trained, fully rehearsed, and ready for that moment.
Back at RAF Coningsby, even as the 2 Typhoons are closing in on our target aircraft, new jets are being readied should another call come in. The pilot inspects the weapons and does his pre-flight checks in the cockpit. If the sirens sound, everything must be ready to go. Although there is another QRA base...
Okay, yeah, so that makes sense. So when those 2 jets took off, 2 more were ready to go. The pilots did their checks. They were sitting in the cockpits, because that's extremely important. Because, imagine the first convoy of jets go up. There might be some stealth aircraft that you guys don't see on the radar or something. Or they get up there, then, some fighter jets come and say one of them gets shot down or they get shot down. Then you could send in, those next 2 up, which they're probably sending a lot more. But you get what I'm saying. Like, this is pretty sick.
At RAF Lossiemouth in Scotland, Coningsby must be set to launch any time of day or night, even if some of its aircraft are already deployed. 30,000 feet above the North Sea, the Typhoons are closing in on our aircraft. They approach cautiously, in case they spook the plane, and then they try to contact the cockpit.
Russian 66 from Q2, interceptor aircraft.
Our aircraft doesn't respond.
Q2, Black Dog, confirm no response.
It's remarkable how close they get. There's one either side of us at the moment, both fully armed. If you were a hostile aircraft, that's quite threatening.
Quite threatening? That is frightening, bro. That's scary. That's spooky. The pucker factor on that one, bro, is just intense. I promise you, I'd probably mess myself, bro. I'm not trying to get shot down. That's the last thing I want to do is get shot down by some fighter jets and die like that. That's crazy. Look at those boys. It don't get more badass than that. Fighter pilots probably got a legit job. Like, they probably love it.
The Typhoon pilots will report what they're seeing back to the ground and in turn receive any new intelligence.
Change heading onto east immediately. Acknowledge.
So that they can stay on station for as long as needed, a refueling tanker is deployed.
They will be
Oh.
getting communications from the control and reporting centres at Scampton and Bulmer. They'll be giving us instructions as more information is fed to them, and they gain more information from other sources. And then gradually there's an escalation process if that needs to occur. There's nothing new in there that we don't practice, and the training just kicks in and the adrenaline flows.
Having no luck with radio contact, the Typhoon pilots fire flares as a show of force. By now, most options have
That's
been
so
tried,
sick.
and our plane is still not responding. It has become a real threat to national security.
I am instructed by Her Majesty's Government of the United Kingdom to warn you that if you do not respond immediately to my orders to turn east, you will be shot down.
It is probable that were this happening for real, the Prime Minister or a senior cabinet member would now be on the line and briefed.
The worst case scenario is that we potentially...
So think about that, bro. That's crazy. So what people don't understand is this isn't like a one type of warning thing. You know, it's not one warning, then, all right, they're not responding. We're going to hit the brakes, get behind them, and shoot them down. No, these people, they're probably trying to communicate them. They're probably trying to communicate with, like, you know, between 10 and 20 minutes worth of time, just like trying to get them to talk. They won't. All right, let me show you my flares so I know, you know, so you better have some flares on you too. That's probably what they saying, like, because you about to get shot down. I guarantee they probably go in front of them, probably brake check them, you know, do something, you know what I mean, to let them know, like, bro, you better start talking. And that's scary. And they only saw 2 jets. There's probably like another jet following them, you know what I mean, that they didn't even see. That's crazy, bro. RAF, bro.
potentially have to shoot down an aircraft, but that's having gone through the most robust processes and procedures in order to identify and interrogate that aircraft.
And who would make that
like
decision?
I said,
that decision is held at the political level, at the highest political level.
But who would give the order to the pilot?
The orders would be issued by my team.
Are they trained for that?
Absolutely, and they're ready to do that.
Would you be prepared to shoot down a commercial airliner?
At the end of the day, we're in the military. This is our job, 24/7, 365 days.
So
days
he's
a year.
saying, hell yeah.
So if that's an order given to us and the correct protocols are being followed, the correct authentications be given, then yes, you can't think about it. It's our
100%.
job. It's an order. It will when I land. It won't airball.
Because I'm telling you, when that adrenaline kicks in, like he said before, like as soon as that switch flips, like it's pure adrenaline, pure training that just kicks in and instincts, bro. You're not necessarily thinking about the human life inside that necessarily if it's like immediate threat to national security. You know what I'm saying? So these are some very well-trained pilots.
The Typhoons have returned to Coningsby. Another day on quick reaction alert. Their mission is over, their shift isn't. They go back on standby, ready should the alarm go again. In 1940, the young men and women of Fighter Command protected Britain's skies against Nazi invasion. Today, 75 years on, Russian aircraft continue to probe NATO's air defences, and the threat of terrorism is as high as it has been for many years.
Everyone knows their part in that system, they train for it, they rehearse for it, and so then if an event happens, then they're ready to react.
Training kicks in. This is what I've been trained to do. This is what order I've been given. This is my job.
Every pilot, engineer and controller is aware of the part that they play, keeping the country safe, protecting Britain's skies, every minute of every day.
And let me know in the comments, bro, do you guys feel safe? I mean, I feel like the RAF got you guys in a good spot. I feel like you guys are well protected. I know I feel very happy with, you know, the United States Air Force protecting our skies and all that, but let me know how you guys feel, man. The RAF is this shows why they're one of the best in the world for a reason. Like, they're very well prepared and they're ready to do what's necessary. And this is very exciting, man. This is pretty sick little video, man. If you enjoyed the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the noties if you haven't already, and leave a mention in the comments if, you know, whatever videos you guys want me to react to. And like I said, just your thoughts and feelings on this video or this reaction. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can hit the link right here, or a link in the bio if you want to buy me a coffee. But if not, it's all good, man. I hope you guys have a great start to your week, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.